Right, I'm going to kick back over to the map that we were on, because we weren't here. Once I remember what the fuck map we were on, oh god, we're lost. We're lost.
I feel like we were on that one map with the lightning thing still.
I found it. Never mind, we got it.
Okay.
All right. Where we last left the Unkind. It's going to be the new name for it since we're no longer the Tree of Ravens. We had journeyed into the Temple of Elements, and we were trying to stop the Temple of Elements from taking in a parcel of ours. Why are you back in my lap? I thought I made this clear. Answer for your wrongs. Answer for them.
Nate, get off his lap.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But we were trying to stop a parcel from getting unpacked in the Temple of Elements, including the entire thing with worms. We managed to get in, we got a couple of cool power-ups, and then we managed to get to the parcels where we destroyed them. We began to have a conversation of what we should do now, because the job done, but we didn't really take any we didn't take any of the bonuses that the Temple of Elements would have given us by using the crafting knife. So with most of us sitting on a couple hit points left and remaining to still be alive, we were like, no, fuck it. Let's find a door. Let's get out of here. There's plenty of things we could just get on the outside world. While Razzik turned and said, I'm not leaving without a prize. And he walked further into the Temple of Elements. After a large mountain creation, the rest of the team followed after, and we found this giant mountain beast. Zephyr attempted to talk to the creature, but it didn't seem too interested in speaking. And then soon the birds that were flying around it flew down and attacked him, dropping him to negative hit points. As Karrith ran in and scooped him up and tried to get him out, the birds began to expand their assault, attacking literally everybody in the vicinity. And at this point, we have now... Everybody is back up. Zephyr now has some cool lightning powers granted to him by his family. And we are now once more standing, most of us in the single digits. This monster's still here. And the question of what do we do next? So, Unkind, what do we do next?
Well, I think the correct response is to retreat and to heal our many, many wounds.
Well, I think what Karrith and Nyphix was the one still down.
Yes. Maybe. I don't. Could be right. I don't know.
Did we end with them still down? I think.
I don't know if he was able to get us back up, was he?
I don't have any extra death saves. No, I think he got you up at the very end. He managed to get you guys back up.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we're
I got
1 HP.
8
Although
HP.
I have a skull sitting by Nyphix, so unfortunately I think Nyphix is the only one that's not up still. So that's the marker that I was using to denote that she is unconscious, and I think she was on 2 fails, 2 successes.
Welcome to Dungeon.
Actually, that sounds about right.
Okay.
All right. So with that, I suppose we'll just tippy-toe back into the turn order. It is Karrith's turn. As we await for the creature to do anything else, and we are deciding about what we should be doing next. Yeah. You sit with a downed Nyphix, a Zephyr who managed to revive you with the same lightning that you revived him with. I'm going to get rid of that undead creature.
Okay. I think Karrith is going to just jolt up to his knees a little bit, kind of pivot, and try to get Nyphix back up in some way.
All right. Do you want to try and use a heal check to stabilize?
Yeah. Ooh, I have a 0 in that. But...
Roll high.
You can do it, Nate. We believe in you.
Starting off strong.
Well, 14 is the DC for a heal check without a med kit, so that is a stabilize. Nyphix is stabilized. She is no longer dying, but she is still very much unconscious.
All right. Then, if I'm able, I'm going to try my best to carry her and look over to Zephyr and just like, we need to figure out how we're getting out of here.
I'm not entirely sure how we even entered this place outside of just walking in, but nothing that I've seen would allow me to think that we could leave here by our own methods.
I think at that moment, Karrith would be trying to remember that whole that we had to touch each other, like, kind of connection that involved us being able to teleport to this plane. Would that be able to work again?
We are unsure.
Okay.
We connected by touch so that we could be teleported in on somebody else's elemental power.
Mm-hmm.
So it is a thought.
Okay.
All right. And are you staying in the position that you're at?
Yeah, I think it's more that my thought is to get Nyphix up onto my shoulder and potentially start running a direction at least to the rest of the group where Razzik and Eelix are.
All right. Eelix, you are up.
I am going to be... Yeah, I want out. So I'm going to be linking up with Karrith and shouting out, "We need to get out of here."
All right. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. So Eelix actually almost makes it to you guys. It is now the lair action. Give me a quick second. The lair action apparently likes you guys. That's the first time I've actually rolled the recharge. As you'll notice that the rocky, cracked mountain is going to spit up more birds.
That's not good.
6 birds. The electricity will flow through its body, and as it goes to exhale it into the sky, 6 birds will pop out of its mouth and begin circling the creature once more. With that, Zephyr, it's your turn.
So we've progressed from, because I think I missed the one session, so I'm not 100% on what's going on.
0 progression. We didn't play last session.
Oh, okay. So then I was down and now I'm back up from and being recharged by his power.
By the power of the lightning in the Temple of Elements mixed with Karrith's ability.
Right.
Where unfortunately you had a death here. Unfortunately.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, yes, but I got one-shotted by this creature, correct?
Mm-hmm.
More like 8 shot by its birds, but yeah.
Then hearing, and you said out loud, Nate, that we had to touch each other to get out.
Yeah, like more just like a general knowledge of like, well, we had to do some kind of like touch to get each other in here. There has to be some way to get us back out.
Then I would help you, acknowledging the fact that you used your power to save me. I will do the same to extend that courtesy to whatever Mama's character is called. I don't have it in front of me. Sorry.
Nyphix?
Nyphix. I'll never remember that. Because
It's
you're
alright, no worries.
Eelix, right?
Nah, I'm Karrith.
Yeah, see, I'll never get it. And Death is Razzik.
You're all
I
good.
only know that Death is Razzik. That's it. That's all I got.
Okay.
But yeah, so I will assist.
There we go. I put the owlbear link back in the chat in case you need it.
Yep. Until then, just move me to wherever with his character.
Right beside me.
I got you starting to link up with Zephyr, with Eelix and Karrith to try and get that going. In which case, it is now the birds' turn. The birds are going to start fanning out and looking for the next meal. They know that danger is still in the area, and they are interested in finding and killing it. With that, Razzik, it is your turn.
Oh, double move. Boop. All right, guys, let's hold hands and see if we can get out of here.
How fast do you move?
Seems like a poor idea.
How fast do you move, my son?
Yeah, well, then I'm there.
All right. So the rest of the tree, we'll see the ravens. We'll see Razzik running across the battlefield, trying to get to them as well, crossbow in hand. Dragon will take its turn. Another lightning bolt will enter the sky. And with that, since it's not going to really appear that we're going to have too much of an interference, I'm just going to maneuver a couple people to get us closer.
Thank you.
All right. We'll start having the birds approach because that's what they would do. This will skip us a turn or two ahead, but get us to the next narrative function. Cool. And with that said, you are all now contemplating on how to get out. Karrith has pointed out that we may need to just link up and see if we can port back out again. Nyphix, you would have had a turn to try and awaken once more if you want to give a d20.
I got nothing.
Good thing you stabilized, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. And with the with all five of you holding hands, give me a d20 check. This is going to be a group skill check to see if you guys can get through.
Everybody?
Yep, everybody.
Oh, hey, look. 14.
Not 20.
Three.
All right. Did we get one from Nate?
Not yet.
Ah,
I shouldn't have rolled.
how we cancel each other out.
Was that a nat 1?
That was
the
a nat one.
Hey, you did slightly worse than me.
So we had a 20, a 1, a 3, and a 14 did Farewell.
Braille has not rolled yet.
He probably can't roll on here yet.
Yeah,
Not
hold
sure if
on.
he
I'm
has-
trying. I'm getting there. Give me a minute.
Understood.
If you got a set of dice next to you, you can roll those two.
Not as fast as the rest of you guys.
All good.
You're all right, cutie pie.
Thanks, Death. That means the world to me. It keeps refreshing every time I go to roll the dice. Somebody roll one for me then real quick.
Are you clicking on the very topmost d20?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so that's the color changer. You want to go to the d20 at the bottom there.
Not giving me the option. Just roll it for me, please. Thank you. Sorry. I'm trying to get this thing to work.
It's all right. You're all good.
Even
All right.
someone is Kristen.
Thank you.
So with that, as you are all linked up,
Where'd the Wi-Fi go?
all right. And reading that secondary note. Cool. Unfortunately, this time does not go through. While there was a nat 20, there was a nat 1 too, and then we had 2 fails and a success. The birds come in closer, looking for their next meal, and Karrith, you said you wanted to beseech.
Yeah.
What does that sound like?
I think when he realizes after the moment of linking up that it's kind of this a deft moment and he's just now going like, I can't rely on anything else here in this place. And he just closes his eyes, clutches a little harder to whoever's in reach, and says that in his mind.
All right. So with that, let's get one more D20 roll from everybody. Oh, there you go. There you don't go.
Mother.
That's 7.
17.
I think that die hates me. I'm changing the color now.
Yeah, I normally don't stay on black either.
Oh, it's a race game now, huh? No.
I'm going to blue.
What can I say? I usually go light blue or the pure white one. Although the red is typically my go-to outside of games. I like the black and red too. I really wish the black and red rolled good for me, but I always end up getting shit on by these guys. Oh, hey, we're here. We're good. My 2 favorite colors are working. We're going to keep these guys today. I think that's black and red. All right. With that, you guys will feel a different type of pulse within your body. Nyphix, can I get another D20 to see if you get up real quick?
Hey, it's 13.
And with Nyphix waking up and coming down off of Karrith's shoulder, with 1 hit point remaining, you'll feel the lightning charge of Nyphix, the void charge of Karrith, the ice charge of Eelix, the fire and lightning charge of Zephyr, and a goopy charge from Razzik. The goopy charge of Eelix and the ice charge from Razzik. And with that, an energy field will envelop you, and as the birds swoop in to try and peck and surround you, they repel against this energy field. And soon, you find yourselves out of here entirely. As all of you find yourselves back in the Temple of Shaylin. You'll see that the priests are currently cleaning the nearby area. But the one that had sent you off on the journey, the one woman, looks and goes, "Oh, you're back. This is a surprise. Did you complete your mission?"
Yes. Yes, we
Yeah.
did.
We did.
What to say? Don't all answer at once. Jesus. Well, that's good to know. The temple thanks you for your service, for everything that you've done. With that, if there's anything else we can offer you, information or something else, just feel free to let us know. But I'm sure you want to rest. Nighttime has come to us. Do you have a place to stay for the night?
No, we don't.
Well then, I suppose that will be our first means of service to you. Would you like a room for each of you, or are you okay sharing?
What do you guys think?
I would prefer private.
We don't share.
Wasn't the point to not stay here?
Well, the point was to not stay there. We're not there anymore. We're here, and here seems to be just fine. And accommodating.
Regardless, I think we've done enough. I think Karrith is going to try to grip onto his head a little more and try to regain some thought. They were still within that guild, right?
Are you talking about the Chimera?
Yeah, the Chimera.
You guys do still have rooms in the Chimera. Eelix did have a conversation with them stating that, hey, maybe it's not wise to give us rooms because some of these guys are assholes and are doing pretty nasty stuff.
I didn't say it
behind
like
closed
that.
doors. They're having sexy parties. with
They're
sailor
dancing.
attacks. But
I think if anything, he doesn't want to stay in that temple any further.
all right. There are also inns in the town. You have to pay.
All right.
Although I think Eelix's gripe was more due to the tattooing, because the tattooing from the Chimera would be a magical tattoo that would basically unleash the beast of the worms into this populace.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think that's where Karrith is going. He just starts limping off towards an exit.
All right. What about everybody else staying at the temple or heading to the Chimera, finding an inn?
If one of them's leaving the temple, then I'm not staying there.
All right. So Zephyr will follow after Karrith.
Nyphix will follow after Karrith.
Which leaves Eelix and Razzik.
I'll head back to the Chimera.
All right.
I watched them walk away, and then I asked the attendant who's here, "Excuse me, is there a process by which we can re-enter this temple area that we just left from?"
Unfortunately, no. It's a one-way service only. That's why we use golems to bring things in and out. Unfortunately, if your trial was a failure or success, that's it. There are no retakes. And you'll watch as one of the attendants is kind of curiously eyeing Zephyr as he's leaving.
Then let me ask this. Are there other doors to these places?
We seal it off from the outside, for the sole purpose of it being a sanctuary. We don't want malcontents getting in and doing horrible damage in there. Most of the things are primordial beings that have lived long since the time of man. But unfortunately, with industrialization and with new creatures coming into play, they don't really have anywhere to go. So it sits inside of this pocket dimension here.
Okay. Thank you very much for all that you've done, and for the offer of a place to stay this evening. Though my group seemed to think better of it, I very much appreciate it. Thank you.
And thank you. And as you all walk off and head back to the Chimera, you find yourself at the delightful smelling door of the Chimera. Fresh meals are being prepared inside for the tenants who are coming in. The smell of beef broth and vegetables steaming. The door opens to the normally brackish behavior inside of the Chimera. And as you are walking through the night, once more, you will notice that it is raining. And with the rain comes the flying fish. And oddly, well, maybe not so much oddly, you're able to interact with them finally. Nyphix gives them some food. Karrith's able to let them bump up against him, with no fear of worms being transmitted between you and them.
Zephyr has no idea what he's seeing, or what he's looking at.
Inside the rain, as you're wandering from the temple to the tavern that they're going, you'll watch, Zephyr, as there's a bit of water off to the side, and with the rain, as it begins to fall, fish just start to swim out of the water and through the rain. Zildon is a magical place. The air here teems with magical energy. And there are all sorts of fish and sea life now swimming amongst the populace as if they belong here. You'll see that the giant elemental attendants that normally hang out in the area do try to scoot the fish away from anywhere where there's going to be like an issue. of them like flying into people's buildings and then getting stuck there or something like that. So you'll see the elemental attendants just keeping them away from general trouble or problem making. But these fish seem as if they're swimming in their own environment, absolutely unplussed by the people or the adventurers below them. In this manner, you could totally pet a fish as you would in a whatchamacallit, a scuba diving aquarium if they decided to get comfortable enough with you, or if you find yourself a godless buck heathen, you could stab one and consume it for its nutritional value. I do not judge you here. But it's like watching a moving animated rainbow in the sky, just as if you were in your own snow globe. Or walking at the bottom of a fish tank, that works too.
Gotcha, thank you.
You enter into the tavern and you will see that Armand is behind the counter once more. He claps his hands together as you wander in. Friends, it's good to see you once more. Have you handled the little problem that you had?
I look up to him a little bit, feeling a little more drained, and I'm like, did what we could. I'm a little more worse for wear. I gotta go. I need to rest this off.
Well, keep in mind, the hot springs are available to you. They do have the healing salts inside of them. It'll get you right back up to Pippin's shape. But any supernatural wounds that you have will unfortunately scar over. So if you're looking to treat anything in a way that's not going to make you looking like a grizzled war veteran, I would suggest taking a dip or going upstairs to getting some healing from your friends. Keep in mind, though, however, as he looks towards Razzik, it will not heal any spell slots or anything. Just your wounds. And you'll watch as he slides Razzik a plate with turkey leg, mashed potatoes, and a hearty beef soup.
Thank you.
Where are these springs?
Food can be brought to your room. Till then, rest up, adventurers. There's always more time for jobs in the morning. Whatever the morning brings. Unless you have anything else that you want to take care of down here in the bar, whether at the food stations, at the dancing floor, if you're feeling a certain pep in your step. If you want to take dips in the bath, or if you're bouncing up to your room, what would you guys like to do for the night?
I think I just saddle a shoulder to kind of lead the way, and I start heading up to my room.
All right.
It's room time for me.
It's bath time for me.
Say Nyphix will probably head to spring.
All
Aw.
right, so two.
Nyphix and Razzik are going to take a bath together.
Well, I mean, there is a communal bath. You can wear bathwear or be naked. It's on you. What about you, Zephyr?
Don't ruin this fantasy.
I'm not gonna, you're gonna have it. I'm gonna support it.
All right. And with that, as you begin walking up, you'll notice that you don't check in at the front with the Chimera. And Armand does kind of clock that, but seeing how worse for wear everybody is, you'll catch as he pulls out a small ribbon of paper and just proceeds to write on it. And as you approach the upstairs with Karrith and Eelix, you will see a door that says Eelix, Karrith, Octavius, and the Mystery Man. And then a separate room that says Nyphix on that door. You all enter into your chambers for the night. But we'll set this into two different instances. And I guess we'll start in the bath. Let's get to the fantasy setting. Are we doing the communal bath with bathing wear or naked? I don't give a shit. or are we doing separate baths and then heading upstairs?
I was gonna say, Nyphix and Razzik have been traveling together for how many years? They probably don't give a shit.
No, we do not.
Razzik gets into the bath as he's sitting there. He's buck naked, and he goes, "You know, Nyphix, I didn't think you'd join." He turns around and goes, "Oh my God, you're a bird!" All right. So Razzik and Nyphix, as you join into the bath, you are hit with the smells of lavender and myrrh. Anything you guys wish to talk about while you basically regain your hit points and your continence?
There's nothing I wish to speak about.
I was gonna say, Razzik's probably just gonna watch her get in the water and lay her head back with a fucking long sigh.
Yeah, I don't stare. That's creepy. It's a bath.
I mean, if I saw a human-sized bird creature crawling across the water like a hawk, I'd probably stare because that's a scene.
No, I'm used to her.
Feel like, what is happening here?
Bird
All
knows
right.
it can fly, right?
So with that, bath time's had and no conversations taken place. We will cut upstairs real quick to Eelix, Zephyr, and Karrith. Any combos taking place, or are we just bandaging wounds and hopping in the bed?
I am hopping into bed.
Am I able to devise that the mystery man is for Zephyr?
Yeah, you could devise that pretty quickly.
Okay. I'm gonna try to lean my shoulder up into the wall to kind of keep myself standing, and I look back to Zephyr and I go, "Hey, they seem to have made at least an arrangement for you to at least have a place."
Yes, that seems pretty apparent.
All right. I'm sorry for the things that happened back there. I know you're incredibly lost in the dark with everything that's been happening.
Life is an adventure. There's nothing to apologize for. What
I
will
feel
you
like
all
I'm
do now?
I think for me, he kind of grips onto his head again, and I think more I just need to regain some form of consciousness back to me. I feel like I've been the Walking Dead for too long. For tomorrow, I think we have to go.
Well, I assume leaving was always going to be on the table, but go where?
You wouldn't happen to know of a man named Malik, do you?
Outside of what was said inside the temple, no.
He gets his shoulder blades a little more up against the wall, pivots his heel to hold him up more. Malik was a leader of our group, alongside someone I looked up to as well. And he betrayed us. And I feel like he's put us under a lot of injustice. He killed a lot of our people. My family. And I feel like lately we've been losing the idea of what we're going for anymore. I don't know what I am without. And he kind of looks around the hall a little bit. We used to be a part of the Tree of Ravens, and now we're running away as if we're shunning that name. And I feel like upon my group that we're already being isolated to do things on our own, and I don't know if I should stand in the way as a shield, as I have been, or just to leave them be.
I'm looking over at the part. Are you sleeping, Duality?
I'm in my room,
I assume you're hearing all this.
possibly, if you guys are being loud.
We are just talking in the hallway.
All right, so yeah, I probably hear it.
Okay. Well, I know nothing about any of you. Do know what being betrayed feels like and losing things and those that are close to you. If you are wandering through life and you don't know what to do with what you've experienced, then the worst thing you can do is act without intent. So I would say search yourself and feel what you should do and pursue it without question.
Even if it leaves the people I care about behind.
Sometimes the best thing we can do for those we care about is to leave them behind.
Definitely gives me a lot to ponder on. I can't imagine.
If I'm being honest, I can't imagine that this assortment of personalities is the most healthy relationship to keep. A lot of you seem very cross with each other and secretive. But then again, I am new.
Yeah, I wish we had a little more of a chin-up, stoic visage, but he definitely caught us with no armor upon our chests, no name to follow under. If anything, you found us to rags. I do appreciate what you did, though, Zephyr.
He looks up and down the hallway dramatically, and what did I do?
He kind of just pats your shoulder and gets ready to get into his room. Kind of needed that.
Oh, I thought you meant earlier. Not a problem.
If I do make plans, you wish for me to keep them with you?
Your future is not... my thoughts should not be a factor in your future. Do with that what you will.
All right. Try to get some good rest. Gonna need it.
All right. And I will say, at this point, we probably will start noting a couple things about our traveling companions. Razzik, though you don't stare at Nyphix because it's, a creeper thing to do, you can't help but notice the tattoo that's on her back not there anymore. The area of feathers entirely gone. And Nyphix, you see Razzik's new arm and his tattoo gone. And as Karrith gets ready for bed for the night, I don't know if he takes his shirt off at all.
I think the way he would go through it is he kind of goes a little bit to the washroom, kind of just takes off everything, all bloodied, mattered, and all the potential whatever fey dirt and anything. He's just removing and depending on whatever he can get off before then, he will slump wherever he slumps.
All right. And with that, Razzik and Nyphix will join the upstairs conversations if there are any. If not, I shall fast forward to the morning.
I don't have anything to say. I go to sleep.
All right. With that, the morning smell of eggs and bacon greet you. Everyone arises of their own accord, and you will see this. I forgot to mention this to Zephyr, but you will notice that where in this room that you are currently in, there is a window. And the oddity about this window is that given the placement of this room in the tavern, that window doesn't lead anywhere. It is currently curtain drawn. You can't, unless you want to open up the curtain. But that window realistically shouldn't lead anywhere. Is there anything you'd like to do with said window?
For the Zephyr, not particularly.
Huh?
Not particularly for the Zephyr.
All right. So with that,
Is it in Nyphix's room as well?
yep, this is the same window that you had opened that gave you the idea that you didn't need to be here anymore. You are free to also open it as well if you'd like. Change of scenery.
Oh, she will. Just
right.
because of what it showed her last time.
And with that, you take a deep breath, Nyphix, as you very shakily hand go towards the window. You grab a hold of the curtains on both sides, a deep breath in, and you rip the curtains open to find none of the horrors that were behind there before. In fact, it looks like that scene is scattering. And there's a different scene playing forth on this window screen. What do you view as a moment of triumph? Whether fictitious and not to come, or something that has actually happened in your life.
Probably the last mission that we all went on before the one with Malik. He betrayed us.
All right. And with that, a scene unfolds on the road of a dusty caravan that you were watching over along with your compatriots. You ride in a wagon along with Captain Vickers, hale and hearty, as he watches the back roads for any of the bandits, these highwaymen that were trailing and robbing the caravan way through. You head over to the back and stare out the back of the window and start noticing movements into the winds along the sides and realize that this is the moment that we are set to shine. And as the caravan is heading off, you watch as Vickers looks at you and offers you, "We're at it again, eh? Let's show them what we're made of. A taste of what the Tree of Ravens can do." And he just steps off the wagon, presents his shield and his sword. You'll see as Eelix go, "Man, I was really hoping that this was just going to be an easy ride. I just wanted the money." And he steps off as well. You'll see Razzik hop off and go, "Honestly, I'm looking forward to strutting my stuff. Maybe this time I can get a little bit more money, eh?" As he stretches. And you step off as well, taking a flight behind the wagon. The bandits breach the wall and begin to ride up on horseback as Vickers and you and your group charge into this battle. You remember winning this day. You remember coming back with men in binds, and submitting them to the very jail where you were kept. It was a good memory. One of the last ones you get to savor with Captain Vickers. With that, the smell greeting you from downstairs, you all head down and grab your various meals and tribulations. You'll see that the Chimera's job board has shifted. There's new options and items on there. All things from reclaiming treasure that was lost by a caravan to taking down a monster that's currently harassing outside the wilds. Even an espionage mission is on there for a nearby town. And the day is yours to greet. What would you all like to do?
I think Karrith has a very silent moment of having his meal. Probably doesn't eat all of it. And after shooting a couple daggers, he just decides to head back up to his room to get all of his equipment.
All right. Anybody else?
I'll take my breakfast in my room. I have scrolls to make.
If
All
I
right.
notice Karrith, then I will follow. Like, not all the way in, but just try and keep.
All right.
I'm
And
gonna
as-
do my normal thing. I'm gonna have my breakfast and kind of just eavesdrop around, see what I can hear.
Eelix, as you're eavesdropping around, you'll hear about a new boat of people who came in from Esil. Apparently, there's been some sort of an exodus that recently happened from Torlay, and a bunch of people had to leave for mysterious reasons. The coast was watching and is scanning anybody who's coming in, looking for any signs of what you've warned them with. But so far, the newest passengers seem clean. But one of them seems a bit rowdy, and he's looking for something. Or someone. Or ones. But whoever it is that has come in that's looking for those people hasn't seemed to locate them yet.
I'm gonna go over there. I'm gonna be like, "Hey, what can you tell me more about this person?"
Oh, it's an interesting fellow. You don't typically see a kobold out of the wilds, but this one's wandering around with a sword and a crossbow on its back and keeps wandering up to people. It seems like he's asking about names, but he's just kind of growling and grumbling at people.
Huh.
And then taunting them with his crossbow. So far, he's shot himself like 3 times, though.
Damn
I don't think he's really doing that well out there.
it. Did he say his name?
Wound, something along the line. Scab. That's it.
Of course. And where was the last time we saw them?
Above table. That was Torlay.
No. I mean this person.
Well, as we saw them, they were wandering around the market district. Caught them stealing from a couple wagons, but so far the guards have been lenient on them. Just kind of calling it refugee tax.
Okay.
Usually there's a acquaintancing period with new people who are coming in, especially refugees, where we try to be lax with them as we brush them up to our new rules. They'll learn them eventually. If not by us, I'm pretty sure a stone elemental will crush his head.
Okay. Well, thank you for the information. And I'm going to go find Karrith with that one.
All right. You'll catch Karrith outside of the room as he closes the door in on Razzik. And him and Zephyr are currently traveling together.
So, I got some fun news.
He's just fixing getting his boots back on. Oh yeah? What happens to be the occasion for you?
Well, somebody downstairs has seen a kobold with a crossbow wandering around the marketplace.
He kind of adjusts his shoulder a little bit. This wouldn't happen to be that one we
Yeah.
let off the hook, have we?
It's Scabs.
Why the hell is he here? Oh,
I don't know. But he's here. Don't know what we want to do with that information.
did he come alone?
Came with a boat of people from Esil, so
Oh.
person I heard from wouldn't be able to tell me, anything much more than that. Even if, he did come with somebody, they wouldn't know any of these people.
Is this one of those situations where I'm supposed to understand the names of the people you guys talk about?
He was just a kobold we ran into. Unfortunately adopted for a short time. More danger to himself than anyone else.
He looks over to you, Eelix, when he says adopted. Or not.
I'm sorry. Were you talking to me?
No, he's talking to Eelix.
Eelix.
Repeat that because you were kind of like muffled. I could barely hear you.
Oh, I said I looked to you when he says he was adopted.
Yeah, kind of. He kind of just tagged along and caused nothing but problems the entire time he was around. He was more liable to shoot himself or one of us with that crossbow than anything he was aiming at.
You weren't considered his guardian then?
Not me. No. I don't need the puppy.
Razzik didn't like it, but I let him go for good reasons. We were wanted men. There was no reason for someone that was a danger to themselves to be caught with lock like us. Well, if he's here, that means there's at least a boat that came from Esil.
Yeah. Which means we can go back.
Going to take it.
What was that end part, Nate?
Practically the same thing, saying it's a boat, and I think that's our ticket. And like we need to get out of here.
So you're set on leaving then?
Yeah, Zephyr, I feel like we did enough damage, at least too much of a risk of what happened last time. And I'd rather not make more mistakes like this. We need to just stay more center-bound on what I was originally doing. Gonna take a little bit of a word of your advice. And I'm going back to brass tacks. And I look at Eelix. I'm going after Malik.
All right. Sounds good. I think I'll join you on that one. Got a little unfinished business there myself.
He
Also,
kind of looks you down. Oh, go ahead.
Nyphix, you're also coming out of your either coming out of your room or coming back upstairs at the we're going after Malik conversation. And Razzik, you're in your room, literally on the opposite side of that door, hearing that Scab just came into town.
Every word, yeah.
I guess.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say as I go to come up the stairs and I hear that, they're talking about going after Malik. I'm just gonna look at them and go, well, before you guys go running off for your revenge, there's something I would like to grab before we leave. So
What's that?
wait at the docks for me. Shouldn't take me long to get it.
Fine. Do what you need to do. And I step past, but I'm going to the docks. Hopefully we have no one else meeting us there.
And this is just a simple quest for vengeance.
Are you saying this to me?
Yes.
I pivot onto the steps and I look at you and I say, honestly, it's all I got. It's all I have left.
And you're aware of your reputations at home.
There's no saving it anymore. And I continue walking down the stairs.
Well, it'd be rude of me not to see you off.
So, while they're having this conversation, I actually don't hear anything that they're saying. I am deep in meditation trying to contact the voice that spoke to me from my book.
Okay. Unfortunately, as the page had stated to you, she'll find you. No need to worry about finding her. So as you you try to contact from the book, unfortunately, nothing's really coming through.
Yeah, but he's really focusing.
No, I mean, I'm just saying, I find it to be unacceptable. I wasn't, like, saying you can't run your game how you want. That's not what I'm saying.
No.
Okay, so I continue then on the process of doing some scrolls.
All right. With that, you pump out a couple scrolls, and everybody starts making their ways to the dock. And with that, as Karrith and Eelix, are you heading out as well?
Yeah, I'm gonna follow Karrith for a little bit here.
All right, as Karrith, Eelix, and Zephyr make it out of the tavern, you will be seen by a orange kobold who is currently sitting outside. And as he spots you, you just watch his eyes brighten up, a smile crosses his face, and he starts running at you guys, his arms waving in the air. And before you know it, Karrith, his arms are around your hips.
Dad?
Oh, this been so long. It's good to see you. Ah,
I was very still there for a very long. And then you watch his eyes open, and he's looking at Zephyr, and you just hear him go, "Ah!" And then he starts pivoting to the side away from Zephyr.
I look over at Zephyr and then back to Scabs.
You guys never are dull, I'll give you that. Is this the thing you were speaking of?
Yes, this is Scabs. Scabs, what are you doing here?
I'll come to see if I can find you guys. Everything went to shit in Turlow, and people started acting weird and funny. But I see why you left. You're being bodyguards for the Great Zephyr.
No, they are not
look at you.
vanguards. Right? They are not up to that task.
But you're famous. You've traveled all over us, so taking arena title after arena title.
Is this creature of importance to any of you?
I kind of huddle it down to Scabs. Scabs, how did you know we were here?
Al didn't. Al just boarded the boat and started looking, honestly.
Well, you definitely was on the right track. If your tracking is anything like your aim, it's not the same.
Look, I was thinking of something.
And he pulls out the sword that you gave him.
Al, I think I have an idea, okay? Here, Scabs out, okay? Scab starts with the gun. Bang, bang, okay? Looks scary, looks intimidating. And then it puts away, and there's a sword and shield.
to start.
Really hard to stab yourself with sword and shield.
Not entirely, but it's something. Scabs, the boat that you arrived on, is it still on dock?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Well, if you are here to try to make sure that you are staying safe, then I would insist that you stay here. But I looked as ever. I have plans. I'm not staying here.
And as you're saying this, Scab will come out and look at Zephyr and goes,
Are those next phase of your tour here?
What?
Are you touring here? Are you going to be fighting in the arenas here?
No, I think I've had my fill of this land and its gifts. I am indeed curious as to the direction of vengeances. You do not seem the sort.
Vengeance, no, not my thing. But,
I'm speaking to Karrith, not speaking.
sorry. This is, you're really famous, and this guy was very nervous.
I know it's very hard to be in the presence of somebody who has done the deeds that I have done, but please try to contain yourself as the grown-ups are talking.
Nyphix, you sneak out and sneak right past this scenario. Like, the Scab's gobsmacked at the moment.
Ah, Nyphix, you awaken.
You did not make it far.
I love that so much.
Yep. And I'm going to go get what I need to get, and I will be meeting you guys down at the dock. Enjoy your walk.
How?
Fuck.
Fuck.
When did you get a crossbow back?
Very easily melt. You touch stick, you touch stick, you touch strong, crossbow.
I recommend learning to make swords next.
That's
Wooden swords.
Wooden swords.
Be right back. Gonna fill up my coffee cup.
The amount of charity work your group has seemed to have done is commendable.
It's definitely not the charity that we were hoping for.
I mean, I can only assume this person had won some type of contest.
Yeah, the contest of living. And
Of
I
luck.
start stepping towards the dock.
All right.
If you are going to a land where you are completely, your reputation has got you completely on the lookout, I assume, right? That's correct. If you guys are,
Yeah.
Thought of.
Yeah.
For a fee, I could be persuaded to accompany and give you some distraction to allow you to move throughout the towns unseen.
What do you mean by that?
Well, you are all clearly wanted felons. I have a notoriety, as you can see from this thing. I could pull guards and crowds away from you, giving you access and maneuverability that you would probably have trouble gauging by yourself.
Frail. I want to be famous. I want everybody to know me. for a minute that somebody is absolutely gobsmacked over. Oh, what the fuck is that thing?
I think Karrith kind of like tilts his head a little bit into his shoulder and readjusts his eyes to look up to you. Are you sure that's not going to put you in any danger then?
It will put me in immense danger, but it will also put me in immense profits.
Your also have a great hero and suffer. Pardon me, sir. He could probably help with the people who are acting strange.
I couldn't agree more. Actually, you could help us right now by loading in some luggage onto the boat.
Okay.
And he'll start scurrying around and start picking up random bits and bobs to try and help with whatever he thinks is yours.
Yeah, but it's not even our stuff.
It's not even your stuff.
Yeah.
Man, it's found you.
I
looked as
my next squire.
well. Good for you. And I have to ask, what fee do you need?
How much do you have? Is the
He-
better question.
Yeah, he practically turns his pocket out at this point, grabbing anything that's on his person, and let me see here.
I got a lint, paperclip, and a button.
Yep. He just hands you a bag of 214 gold.
I look at it, and I try to act like I'm not interested in it at all, but you can see my eyes fixated on it. Well, typically, protection and distractions I run. This will do for now, and we can adjust. We can discuss the installments further down the road.
If there's at any moment you think it's not enough worth doing what you're doing, then you can discharge yourself from any of the situations that you may feel inappropriate.
Well, it's not what I feel it's worth, it's what you feel it's worth.
If you can get me to Malik, Zephyr.
I can get you anywhere. Again.
Then it's worth every penny.
And I will take that money.
All right. We'll cut. Oh,
that'll be enough for you, and then everybody else I'll need money for everybody else who would like some anonymity or aid.
All right. We shall cut the camera to Nyphix as she is on her own adventure.
Yes. So before we leave where we're at, after the memory she watched, and then kind of hearing and seeing what's going on, and just kind of the direction that the party is going, she decides that she wants to go and retrieve Vicar's amulet that she buried before they leave.
You go back to the temple grounds and find that one big tree. You will see that it is devoid of all but one raven who sits in the tree still. It seems to have made a nest here. It'll come back with another twig and add it to the nest very forcefully. And as you proceed to look at the freshly made mound, it'll take a look at you as well.
As I kind of walk up to it, I just kind of look at it and go, well, seems the Tree of Ravens has finally decided that our last journey is now. Malik's last breath be soon. And I think that this amulet should go with it. So I'm going to dig it up, and it's going to go.
You kneel down and move away the dirt. You find the amulet, wiping the crust off of it. And it is now once more in your inventory. You'll look up and see that the raven has nested inside of the nest, is just watching you.
I stand there for probably about a minute watching it. And then as I turn to leave, just kind of say to it, stay safe, baby raven. Maybe this will be your new home. And leave.
And you wander away as you hear the raven scurry about, continuing to make its nest. Within due time, all of you, in one way or another, have a small rinky-dink fisher boat that has been repurposed into a passenger transport. You see it's finally unloaded the last of the refugees from Esil, from Torlay. And you all are ready to board. You pay your boarding fare, and the ferryman warns you. Just want you to be aware, we're heading back to might not be so welcoming for you. Torlay is different. Honestly, I think lacking leadership like the Oisons. Maybe the town has finally gone mad. But a few of us are looking to get as many people out of there as we can.
Karrith is a little bit more like beside himself hearing this, and is he like alone on the docks in this thing, or did Zephyr follow along?
I'm assuming Zephyr and Eelix followed.
Okay.
And Scab.
Okay.
Scab.
I guess I just let Eelix speak.
I ain't got nothing to say.
He returns back to the man and says, there's a lot of things that we have to right our wrongs on. No one else is going to clean it up.
Well, if you insist. Suppose once you are all gathered, I could shove off. No one else is looking to come back there.
Perhaps it's wise. That place is nothing but a battlefield now.
With that, one by one, the Unkind will show up at the boat, and the boat will push off to dock. Let's cut for a minute to a scene that you are not a part of. As the Tree of Ravens is on their way back to Esil, we see Malik, Kurtz, and Coms, our three main enemies. They find themselves on another mission. As Kurtz, man in the wagon, looks over and goes, I feel very great about this one. It's going to be another good one. Malik turns to him and goes, you know, you keep fucking saying that. It's starting to really creep me out. Combs looks over and goes, Mark, can I talk to you for a second? Sure, what is it? Well, I don't want to talk to Karrith about it, but the fungus is acting weird on him. It's been acting weird. He takes it, he puts it on his ear, and all I can hear is, well, just a cacophony of voices, a ton of them. Is that a problem with your fungus? No, the fungus is fine. I don't think it's a man there. I think he might be fucked up in the head. Who knows, maybe that adventure he ran on without us did something. Well, only one way to find out, eh? Kurtz! Yeah, boss. But you go on an adventure without us. That little, caravan meet? How'd it go? Oh, that. You wouldn't believe it, but I ran into a couple of old friends. Turns out some of the ravens are still alive. Karrith's looking especially bold. You fucking ran into Karrith. As Malik approaches Kurtz. Yeah, fucking strangest thing about them though. He started laughing. And started saying, congratulations, something like that. It took me a while to find out what he means. And he's right. You know, come to think of it, I could help you out. I could, and you watch as Malik quickly draws his sword. Help me out in what exactly? What the fuck do you have? Whoa. We're all friends here. All of us are friends, right? He gave me a gift that day. It's made me stronger, more powerful than ever before. You ever notice I don't run into magic anymore? I don't have magic problems. Like in haste all day, I can run these horses like no one. I even went so far as to give it to them. A gift. And he strokes the side of the horse's mane as he bumps his head against it. Congratulations, indeed. Malik looks at him and starts getting a little bit more turned. You got fucking something to say, you better come out and say it. Congratulations for what? What did he give you? He gave me the greatest gift of all, Malik. Eternal life. It's in me. And it could be in you. Malik looks at him and goes, Eternal life? You don't say. Well, you know me, Kurtz. Takes another step towards him. I don't believe shit unless I see it with my own eyes. That's why I waited so long on Face. That's why I waited so long on Vickers. That's why I waited so long on Karrith. Eternal life? That's what you say? Prove it. Slits Kurtz's throat, and Kurtz hits the ground. And Malik waits. And watches worms start pulling from Kurtz's neck and torso as they interlace themselves once more and wriggle themselves slowly together. The head snaps back onto the body. I told you it's great. I told you. Eternal life, Malik. It could be ours. Yours, mine, Calms. Could live forever. The crows will rise again. Just take my hand. To live for eternity. Malik looks at him strong and hard. We're gonna go somewhere, right? And holds him the blade of the sword. I'm gonna take you to see the old man. I'm gonna see what this is all about. Before anybody be doing anything. There's one thing I did learn from that son of a bitch. Just look before you leap. And he pulls Kurtz up with the blade of his sword. The thumb falls off for a second and then pops back on with the worms. Old man it is. Hell, if it's good, we can even give him it. Looking forward to the day we can all be one. You, me, Combs, and him. Hey, whatever you say, crazy. Get your ass in the fucking car. Let's go. And Combs, Malik, and Kurtz get in the cart and start heading north. Several days pass, and you guys dock outside of Torlay.
Well, I would like to have a conversation on the boat.
Absolutely, go for it.
And I am going to ask them basically what their plan is, because nobody talked about going to see Malik at all except for me and Karrith. So to my knowledge, nobody knows what's going on except for the two of us. So how is everybody just like all fine with what none of this is making sense to the Zephyr, and it's very off-putting.
Well, I figured I knew what was going to be going on because me and Karrith were together when that decision was made. So
the problem is the Unkind know what's going on. Zephyr.
Yeah, but nobody talked about it, so how do they all know
No.
that they were going?
We need to onboard Zephyr at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there was never a discussion about going back over.
Yeah, and he's talking more about the fact that when I was making that decision in the hallway and let Zephyr know, like, this is my plan, like, it's not much I'm making it as a group. This was him just going to make this decision to go. And now that, like, you know, people have been kind of hearing it half point, half baked, and kind of just decided to follow along, is what it seems like.
Yeah. Everybody else heard the name Malik and going back to what have you. The rest of us just instantly went, yep, got it. Okay.
which is weird because to me,
very weird.
Yeah, which is weird to me as Karrith. It's weird to me because not a lot of people listen to his plans to do these. Like, especially if they're like, oh, we don't think that's going to work. Oh, you don't understand. You don't know what it is. And for them to just now kind of be on it, it is something he's a little thrown off by. But if this is going to be a discussion on the boat, I will be blunt and open with this, if need be.
Yeah, I would need it to be I need something other than everybody is just magically on board after not talking about it.
Yeah.
Is there some form of telepathy going on here? I mean,
yeah, it's definitely not telepathy. I think it's just a code that the Tree of Ravens used to have, where it was like, when a decision is to be made, there is no pushback, there's no fight, and sometimes they just go, you know what, that's the plan, we do it. And I think, because Karrith has always pushed against this grain of not asking questions. And because he asks questions all the time through this, what happened to Vickers? What happened to this? And everyone's like, you don't understand. You don't need to know this. All that matters is we have to do this. And now he's making a decision on his own about what he wants to do and why he wants to do it. Why follow now?
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I was in my room communing with my book, and I didn't hear shit.
Okay, so then why'd you follow?
Because Spike said I did.
yeah, like there was no conversation with anybody about anything.
Yeah, so I just went along with it. But in actuality, I would have said, why would we leave here? We still have, like, poor arms and armaments, and we still have a big problem with worms that we really don't know how to solve. So it seems like a bad idea to me. But if we're going to do the bad idea, we might as well do it together.
I was ready to go do the thing with Karrith, so I know why I followed.
Yeah. I think, yeah. I think as we are pulling out and we're all making these decisions to follow along and go, I'm going to have a bit of a long talk, if people are fine with that.
Yeah, because I would like to hear some type of plan, other than
Yeah.
we're just going to go take care of this guy.
Yeah. So, is it still sunrise?
If we are freshly pushing off of the boat, yes.
Okay. So I would say this is probably what we're about a quarter out. Sun's starting to set. And Karrith decides to say, let's all meet under. We need to talk.
Fair enough.
Zephyr heads under.
Yeah, like,
Yeah. Go.
Okay. Is there like a bit of like a table room, something that you can kind of like meet and have some kind of meet? Is there a map even?
there is no map. It is a fishing boat.
Okay.
There is an undercroft to it where they would normally be gathering and setting up fish. The smell is ridiculously pungent because, well, they gather fish.
Yep.
However,
meditation on the room.
yeah. However, so much as a commentary on the room, it has been freshly scrubbed since their last endeavor. So you will still see bits of scale here and there, but for the most part, you're not wandering around in slimy territory. It is an open room with crates there to basically imitate a trading vessel of sorts, where they would be saying, "Hey, we have some imports from Sudan," in an attempt to bypass the Torlay borders once more. So there are places in which to sit, or even a crate that you could turn into a makeshift table. But other
Okay.
than that, not a whole lot to work with. It's very bare bones.
Okay. So with his bare bones as he's going, he's practically using bits of what's left of fish bone, probably, and he's just making almost like a makeshift map of where they're about to dock, where things are going, what's happening. And he has this meeting, everyone, if they do join.
Yeah.
I'm just going to assume that everyone is currently seated at the table, and we're ready to go.
Okay. So, a lot of the decisions that I was willing to make was going to be putting me out in these lines alone. Everyone, the decision that was made in that temple nearly got us killed. Sure, maybe we fixed one wrong, but to die there for power is not what we're here for. Never in my life has I been taught through vicars, or once captain, that we were ever fighting for power. We were fighting wars before they started. And we ran away from a battlefield that we didn't even bother to fight in. This is not even about...
You can say
Go.
words. Every single one of them is wrong.
Well, no one's talking about you, Razzik. You can go ahead and say I'm wrong, but I am the only one that's talking about what just needs to be done. Unless you want to stand up at the table and start actually making some reasons, go ahead. But tell me what happened back there that would have saved us.
Well, interestingly enough, we warned their government. cleansed the place of worms, fixed everyone, and we're on the cusp of being able to make some money so we could actually get some real equipment on us and be able to take the fight to these places. Instead, we left unarmed, unarmored, with no real solution for worms, and with no help, except for Zephyr, which I admit, I appreciate you being here, but it's not that much.
Oh,
As Scab stops hugging you for a minute.
I am excited to see you, my friend. It's good that you're back.
it's good to be back. To see you again, friend.
You too, my friend. You too.
The more time we waste everywhere else, Razzik, the more our home becomes nothing but a slave to this mind.
I mean, if it isn't already entirely a slave to this mind.
As if there wasn't decisions you made back in Esil that caused this. Why do I have to feel that the right of a wrong here is on me and not you?
You feel however you feel, and that has nothing to do with me. That has everything to do with you.
You don't have to cut it this way. What happens now is what we have to do. What happened on that island? What happened with the potential of that, every mystic and magic that was there that could have been affected? We were walking time bombs for that place.
We were past tense. We solved that problem for them and us. Warned them of a problem that could come to their shores at any moment.
But do you understand that chance was so heavy? That chance could have went so wrong.
It could have went so wrong anywhere. Everywhere. We have no idea.
I don't think you're understanding this, Razzik.
I don't think you are.
You can go ahead and keep Justin fight. But at the end of the day, it does not change that you did something that almost got us killed. Twice!
Oh. And yet somehow still here you are.
Because I got us out.
Yeah, it was all you, bud.
I connect with eyes with people to get any form of Lee back.
I'm just gonna I'm gonna look back and be like, hey, I wasn't the one who decided to pick a fight with a giant lightning bird thing.
We wouldn't have fought that thing if it wasn't, and I point at Razzik, for him sticking around for his own gut.
Yeah, so that we could go back with power and actually get our revenge.
And what has that power done for you, Razzik?
Well, nothing yet.
Deformed you?
Deformed? Are you talking about my hand? I like it quite a bit, actually. In fact, you could say that this is just me revealing more of who I really am. And if that frightens you, well, oh well.
It is beyond frightening.
Well,
I look at Nyphix. You were almost to face Malik again. I don't care if it was real or not. What was going through your head?
What was going through my head when I saw his face standing there? At first, Karrith, I would have given anything at that moment to have actually ended his life and been over with everything. But the problem that we're all facing right now is the fact that we've actually lost our way.
We lost our way a while back. But yet we kept trudging on until we're now neck deep in mud that we can't even get out of the trench. I'm not wrong for what I said, Razzik. I'm just the only one brave enough to speak it.
I just completely disagree with every single thing you said.
And that's why we can't work together. After all this, I'm done.
Oh,
Unfortunately,
I'm done.
there's no point to continue on the path that we're on, because what's the point in ending Malik's life when tomorrow, when Malik is dead, and we look in the mirror, when everything that brought us to that point has turned us into him?
Don't think like that. Everything he has done is the reason we're even here. The reason we're even rotting in this. If anything, it was you all falling to shambles once Vickers fell. Not once did you guys give me any information of knowing how that went down. Instead, it was just move along. I'm tired of it. I stuck my heart out in all of this. I don't know how many times I took a hit for each and one of you. I can no longer count. I didn't lose my way. I'm still trying to fight to stop a war that shouldn't have started. And if you want to think we lost our way, then we need to understand it's all individualized. Eelix is ready to walk out of it. Razzik is just finding his own reason. And you, Nyphix? You don't even know if you're a war priest or not.
Oh, I know I'm a war priest. That's why I'm still standing here.
Excuse me.
Why, when whatever being that was that had me face off with Malik in that other world, I don't know if you stuck around after that. I don't know how you knew what happened. But I allowed him to slit my throat if it meant keeping every last one of you alive to continue on this fight.
Also,
So
real
then
quick
what?
to interject, because Zephyr wasn't here. Frail wasn't here for this session, but Zephyr would know that Nyphix was keeping him alive while he was getting it.
Yeah, I remember that being said. Yeah.
So I know who I am. The problem is, I watch each and every one of you fall deeper and deeper away from who you were and who you were planned to be. Like I said, the day after we seek our revenge on Malik, who do you expect to find in the mirror?
I'll raise this to you, Nyphix. The same reason you let him do that to you. To let each and every one of us live. Don't you think Vickers did the same? I think it would be sullied if we don't do what should be done. Malik set our tree ablaze. I watched every brother and sister die before me. And then to hear the captain couldn't even come back to make a difference. I was destroyed the moment I got myself out of that rubbish. Remember? You told me to stand. That's it. So if I'm not going to continue to stand, then it's all forfeit. My decision is my own. You all can make your own decision at this point. You're all individuals. I told you my plan. I'm going after Malik. If you think it's all worthwhile and that I have to bear witness to whoever I am in the mirror, then I guess you all died in that fire too.
The problem is the journey that gets you there, not the revenge.
I don't care the journey I have to go through. If it's only on me, that's all that matters.
Then, Karrith, your argument with Razzik is no better.
Razzik got you all hurt. All of you. My decision is not involving any of you. If
Doesn't
it
it?
went my way, you all would have been left on that island.
Nyphix is going to stand up and lean forward. If you think that your decision is just your own, then you were never a raven to begin with.
You made that very clear the first time you told me that, Nyphix. All of you did. The moment
For the
you
last
cut my symbol off
15
my
years,
back,
then.
the 15 years between you three.
Then the moment Vickers brought you and the effort he put into you meant nothing.
I don't know why you're trying to talk me out of this, Nyphix. It's not going to work.
I'm not trying to talk you out of it. I'm trying to talk you
You
out
trying to guilt
of
me
trying.
is trying to make it guilty of me. My guilt isn't on you.
Your problem is with the journey you're on.
And is this another time you're going to dictate the decisions I make? You got to
You're
stop acting
mad
like a big
because of the
sister out of this.
decisions Razzik makes. But yet you're making the same decisions
Because it's
in the
proven,
same way.
you've proven the point. Razzik's proven the point. Eelix has proven the point that every decision that we have to make on our own doesn't matter. But yet when I bring up rays of alarm, nobody wants to say I understand. Instead, they go, you don't understand, Karrith. But when I start talking about only my decisions and only my facts, all of a sudden it no longer matters. I'm always under all of you. You don't see any of this eye to eye. Not one of you. If anything, the reason I'm standing here having this conversation is I am telling you I'm making this decision whether you like it or not. This shouldn't affect you, and that fact that you think it will is encumbersome. It's bullshit.
You're more than welcome to make your own decisions.
Then I made my decision.
And when we make ours to follow you,
And I'm
you
saying
keep
you're
your
not following
mouth
me. You're not
shut.
following me. No one's following me in this. I don't do you not... He kind of pounds the table at this point. I don't think you understand what I'm saying. None of you do. I'm making this decision. The fact I'm even giving you the privilege to understand the decision I'm making is beyond already what I wanted to do. There's no following me. You already made those decisions once our symbols were pulled off our backs. And I thought I could trust at least one of you, but thank you. You've proven that I cannot.
Well, there it is. I'm fine with that. Go off, do your thing. I won't help. If I should happen to bump into you on my way to Malik, I'll be sure to say hi.
I'm sure you will, Razzik. Your ego follows you first.
Yeah. Well, at least it's not my trauma that follows me first.
What did you say to me?
You heard me. I didn't stutter.
He just looks at you with disdain.
You get more than you were giving right back.
If I didn't have any sliver of respect for you, Razzik, I'd gut your throat.
If I didn't have any sliver of respect for you, I'd burn you to death where you stand.
Then do it.
Neither one of us.
Then fucking do it, Razzik.
Oh, wouldn't that be great? And then you'll have one more thing you can whine about as you burn to death on a ship.
At least I wouldn't have to suffer this fucking world with you.
Oh, God. Well, then swim. There's the water.
You all get off the boat. I made this decision on my own. You all could have lived your paradise and you chose to throw it away. I made my decision. If it's unkind to you, then so be it.
Unkind. That's funny.
My plan is final.
Okay.
He leaves the room.
So I understand that you all are aware that somebody has died but refused to tell him?
Yeah, if I believe he's talking about Vickers, and I don't know, he didn't get any more information than I did.
But one of you knows how this man died. That clearly has taken an emotional toll on all of you.
Well,
none of us know why Malik did what he did.
this is true, and answers would be lovely. However, I was not given any more information about the entire situation than he was. I just chose to see it differently.
So this Malik was the person who killed your captain.
Betrayed and killed our captain, and then tried to frame us for the entire incident. Yeah, he's a real winner. Boy, would I love to show him what he's won.
Well, I offered my notoriety as service to Karrith, and a way to give you some anonymity or distraction navigating through that land. Still unsure as how he plans to do whatever he plans to do. But for a fee, you can use me as my fame in a way to get yourselves into places that you may have issue getting into, possibly.
Well, personally, I think I'll be fine. Though I
Well,
do appreciate the help you've given so far.
you are aware of how wanted you are in this land.
Oh yes,
Trust me, we know.
Octavius Redwind was wanted. But you see these papers here? These papers proves that I'm Octavius Crowheart. And so that's who I will be. And then I slip them back into my robes into a hidden pocket.
And the rest of you?
Unfortunately, Zephyr, there's not much hiding who I am. I'm sure your eyes work just fine, and you can see what I look like. Disguises don't work very well, and unfortunately, I have spent too much time now in handcuffs and down in their jail cell. Uh, so eyes will find me easily enough.
My point
So
being, though, that while eyes could find you, if they're more pointed at something favorable, you would have ways to work around them.
I appreciate it, but I'll just keep my distance the best that I can.
And leave your friend dangling in the wind
He'll have you.
as a distraction.
Well, as he's made note, the only one he seems to trust right now is you.
He does not trust me. He has paid me for a service.
Which apparently is trustworthy enough.
If that is the petty take you would like to take from that, then that is your right. But understand that you're still giving up on somebody you claim as friend. Sometimes you have to make the decision, the greater good decision for those that we care about when they cannot see it for themselves.
Oh. You think I'm giving up?
Did you not just say that you will leave him to his own devices?
No. I said I would just keep my distance.
Not fully aware of the situation you are all in. If keeping your distance means that you are still able to provide aid, then so be it for me to criticize. Or far be it from me to criticize.
I find it amazing that any of you are willing to help that ignorant ass.
Razzik, you know me.
Yes, I do. And I actually like you quite a bit. Which is why I really hate to watch you die, especially needlessly following a reckless fool.
All I have known you to be so far in our brief interaction is to be reckless. I would stay your tongue, lest you find it pointing back at yourself.
Yes, well, friends will point where they may, but my point stands. And to be completely honest, it's fine if everyone doesn't get it. That's okay. But what we should have done was consolidate a power base so that we had something useful, like, I don't know, money to bribe people with and to loosen tongues so we can find Malik easily instead of hunting him down literally town by town forever.
You have a source, and I point to myself.
And you know where Malik is?
I could find him if gathering information is your concern and funds.
Well, now that I would pay you for, sir.
Unfortunately, right now, Karrith is running off of emotions. Tired,
Off of it.
beaten.
And too foolish to take a rest in a safe harbor. And that's really what's happening.
One could say the same about you right now, Razzik.
I would have been perfectly happy at the end.
Seeking power that he's never sought before. Speaking like he's never spoke before.
Well, if you expect me to apologize for seeking power, I won't. To anyone. Ever. We have an enemy that needs killing. And I don't know what his power entails, but I know when we meet, I'd like to be the stronger of the two. And it seems like none of you understand that. Also, our gear is absolutely taxed. We're wearing like freebie gear hand-me-downs. Alright? No one seems to care about that either. I'm not saying we shouldn't go and do something. I'm saying we should be smart about it and fix the things that are messed up in our situation so that we can go back and actually get some results.
Was this person at a greater strength than you were possessed when first encountered?
If I had to guess, I would say yes.
Then what makes you think in your absence that he has sat and waited? It is
Not a
better
single
to
thing.
strike sooner than to amass, because for as strong as you get, he or she, I believe you said he was he, gets,
Dude, yeah.
will have resources to outpace you at every turn. So
Correct.
waiting idly by will actually be to your detriment.
I mean, yeah, but you're saying that, but you don't know any more than I do. He could be sitting on his ass enjoying his victory over us and doing nothing just as easily as he could be working hard and trying to like increase his power. Either one could be equally true.
Well, then, to my point, you're better off striking sooner than waiting at any point anyway.
I mean, I understand that from what you've experienced about the world, that leads you to believe you're correct. And for all any of us know, you could be correct. Also, you could be terribly, terribly wrong. Like, how do we know?
I would just
You know?
say give yourself a tactical advantage than giving to the opposition.
Well, they say the best revenge is one that's served cold. The easiest way for things to cool down is to let things cool down. We're wanted. We've been wanted for a while now. Why rush back when we could, again, consolidate, empower, better gear and arm ourselves, proceed with an actual plan instead of a tantrum of a spoiled child?
All I can say to that is the more notoriety you gain, the more open you make yourself.
No, because Razzik is dead. And Octavius is not going to make the same mistakes Razzik did.
But you look at Nyphix. You claim that you are an oddity in this land. Would your reputation not grow?
Trust me. our reputation in this land that we're going to would get much worse. And Razzik, like I told Karrith, the journey you're on and the way that you're speaking, you're doing exactly and speaking exactly like Malik did when he turned on Vickers and us.
I assure you of one thing. If I turn on you, you will have done something specifically to deserve it. And that is the only way you would get me to turn on you. I'm not a coward or a snake. And I certainly won't just roll over because someone says so.
All Malik wanted was money and power.
Well, I'd like power. Just power. And that doesn't make me wrong. That makes me smart. Of the entire group, I should be the one smart enough to know that. And for the record, in this little adventure we just undertook, I turned down God. The gods only know how much power, because in my opinion, it would have pulled me away from you, all of you, even that motherfucker upstairs.
I don't understand the point for this language. You can have a civil conversation without calling names.
Yes, well, when a child frustrates a parent sometimes says naughty words. It's like he's not looking at what happened at all through the right way. It's like he feels some sort of personal guilt that he's responsible for what happened. Nobody feels that way except for him. I mean, at least I don't. I'm not blaming him for what happened. He had no more ability to prevent what happened than any of us did. And it seems to me that grief and loss was so profound for him that he's stuck in this "it's all my fault" mindset, and nothing anyone says to him seems to get him away from it. I don't hate Karrith. I don't. I just can't abide his attitude, this everything is my fault, hurt puppy dog attitude that he does. I cannot accept it. In my learned estimation, we're rushing headlong back into a situation that we have no way to control in any way. And it seems ill-advised. But where am I? I'm on the boat, going with you. Even though I think it's a wrong play, on the boat, going with you. And as much as it gnaws at me, I'm even going with Karrith. And if he wants to stomp off like a child, I assume that I'll stomp off like a child with him. Don't expect me to be happy about it. I'm not. We all got screwed over. Every single one of us. and we all got screwed over the same way, which is rare in groups. It doesn't make sense to me to carry some guilt that it is your fault. It's like survivor's trauma or something.
The point I gathered from his speech was that his opinions have been menialized, and I think the frustration of this whole adventure has taken a psychological toll on him.
I mean, I think that's fair to say, but I think the event, even before this adventure, took the toll on him even harder, even more aggressively. And I would have counseled at least taking some rest. Take a few days to just unwind and relax. And no one seems to be interested in that plan.
Zephyr, the biggest thing that Karrith seems to not grasp right now is the fact that he wants to hold on to being a raven, but he also forgets that as he sits here and says that this is his decision, this is what he is going to do, and his decision alone, he fails to realize that we are going to go with him.
And maybe that's the problem. That he wants this to be his mission and not all of you.
I mean, if he comes and to me and says that, then that's fine. I will let him go.
He's straight.
And I won't help him. I'm just saying, if that's what he says to me, if he says that he wants to go it alone and he doesn't want my help, then I won't help him. And I won't follow behind him. But what I will do is plan for his failure and work on my own way to succeed at getting the revenge we deserve. Even if I have to do it by myself. Even if it takes me 1,000 years and I have to rip my way through the plains of hell to get there, I will get there.
And again, I'll sit here and say again, we've lost our way.
I reach in my pocket and pull out the straight razor that I have and begin to shave my head. Maybe you're right. As the hair falls away in big white patches, maybe we have. But the way we had been going was not a way anyone should have gone. And in my opinion, perhaps we should all try to find our way back to some semblance of sanity. Pull the razor across my head with like dragging motions, cutting back the hair.
I'm not cleaning that up.
I don't expect you to. I wouldn't. I didn't expect that you would. You're good, man.
I'll walk out of the room.
All right, one more. I gotta move from the map.
Yeah. I finished shaving my head, cutting the last of the hair off, Well, I don't know. How do I look? Does it look all right? Did I do a good job on the haircut?
Roll a how do I roll a haircut check?
Jeez.
Seems like a dexterity thing.
Go for it. Go for it. I'll take a dex.
I got an 11.
There's still patches here and there where the hair is longer than most. He's definitely shaved it down, but you can see patches of hair here and there where it's longer.
Oh, I'm gonna keep working on it. Thanks for pointing it out. Appreciate it.
She didn't even point it out yet.
I know.
No, but I will tell him that, like, as I look at him, I'll just like shake my head and go, well, I suppose, you shave off the raven emblem, you shave off your hair. I suppose the day after we seek our revenge on Malik, you can look in the mirror as Octavius and be one step closer to actually being Malik. So you enjoy that.
Fixate will you will, dear.
And Nyphix at that point will turn and go to walk out of the room. Just remember, or at least try to remember how we were, all of us. Maybe the mission that we went on before before Malik decided to turn on us and kill Vickers. Just think back.
I remember. Something about bandits, right?
It was. Think how we all were. Think just back to how the Ravens actually went out on missions. What we did.
I do admit it was some excellent times. And I miss it deeply.
Now we're the bandits.
Maybe. Maybe we are.
No. I refuse to be that way. Because no.
Did you ever wonder if bandits started off like normal people and just through one thing or another had their life fall apart to the point that they just simply didn't care and needed money to eat?
And that is where they come to the crossroad and they can choose to either become the bandit or choose what's right. And you can laugh at my decision to keep going down the road of what's right while you go down the road of being the bandit.
It's sad that that's what you think I intend. And from my perspective at least, I have done every single thing that I could possibly do for the entire time since this nightmare began to keep us together, to keep us alive, and to see us attain the vengeance we're deserved. Every single thing I had to do, I did it all for you guys. And the disrespect, I don't need it, and I don't need any of you. Go your way, all of you. Go your way, and I'll go mine. We'll part, and I'll be the bad guy. I'm fine with that. So you want to call me Malik? Go ahead.
This is your fork in the road, Razzik.
No, not at all. this is just one more step in a direction that I believe was inevitable. If you remember back to that last mission, we all had reason to be the good guys. Being the good guy was working for us and was working for other people, and we were much celebrated. And now those same people curse our names. And the kingdoms that we work to protect hunt us down. And I'm the bad guy? Okay, I'm the bad guy. Before the end, you all come crawling back to me.
It's at that moment where Nyphix and Octavius, you realize that you're at the table. At some point in time, he dipped off and he disappeared.
You cut out really badly there.
Okay. Nyphix and Octavius, you realize at some point in time that Eelix has disappeared from the table somewhere in these conversations, and they are gone. You two and Scab are the only ones that are... And we cut above the table to Karrith, who is currently trying to hang out away from the purview of people, just trying to isolate. You see that Karrith is currently clutching to his chest, sighing with unbridled lament.
Sarvoth, just take me from this plane. Get me to Malik.
It unfortunately doesn't work that way, my friend. My powers are limited in this realm.
I will give you my body, my heart. Please! I need to earn this!
Do you speed to your vengeance or your death, my friend? I understand your need for haste, but keep in mind, the tinder is already lit. Your enemy will appear in front of you in due time, though even slaying them will not quench this thirst that burns, the thirst of the fire that burns inside of you.
It's not even vengeance, it's just to end it.
You are not alone. You are only inside of yourself. When was the last time you stopped to breathe? I know all too well it hurts, but you need to still breathe. For those you tried to protect without words to tell them. For him, you couldn't save because you weren't there to save him. For the one you hate above all else, yourself. Forgiveness needs to start in the heart. Forgive yourself, but understand even that takes time. Mortals, they are complex. They do not break the same. You break in your way, they in theirs. And in the end, you all have the same goals: vengeance, protection, and healing. And with that, and with everybody departing, we shall end the session for today. As we are 44 points past the 44 minutes past the no frail point. He was so gracious to stay around and help us out.
It was a good session.
Mm-hmm.
Fun. I love fake arguing with someone. It's like my favorite thing. I don't think I've ever enjoyed roleplay so much as fake arguing with someone. It's great.
Yeah, fake.
Yeah, that's the fact that you think it's fake is hilarious.
Oh yeah, you're right. 'Cause I'm attacking poor. No.
Sorry, I had to get the dogs. Was that end of session?
That is end of session.